for life. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm pretty much content with just rhyming all day.
Or digital can instantly share pictures.
I can start. Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show. You know what it is? Hey, ham solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn how we do. Hey. They said we said we lit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you man. I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a wheel. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you on red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blizzard. Got you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said go.
Yo, what's going on? How's it going? Alright. Ah, yeah. Take it out of stock. I don't think you did. Sure. Yep. Mm-hmm. Sure. So since yesterday when I woke up, I've been playing Oblivion. I played a pretty good amount of Oblivion. Before that, and I'm still playing Oblivion right now, to be honest. And before that, ooh man, I was kind of all over the place. is all over the place because the problem is I mean I'm waiting for Doom the Dark Ages, and I got Assassin's Creed Shadows to play. I was playing Cyberpunk. I was playing let me see, Diablo. I played a decent amount of Diablo over the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, Diablo 4. I just got what's that? All right, all right, all right. Yeah, so I just recently got Vessel of Hatred for Diablo 4. I've been playing that. I haven't played Diablo since I haven't really played Diablo since like the launch of Diablo 4 when like me and all the friend group were like
You hear
hooked
me?
on it. Yeah, I hear you. You sound
Okay,
loud right
hopefully everybody else can.
now. You're good. You're good. I can hear you. But yeah, Diablo, Assassin's Creed, Cyberpunk, and then as of the last 24 hours, a good amount of Oblivion. And there's a reason for that. And we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, so I apologize for everybody that couldn't hear me for that long ass spiel that I had that fell on deaf ears. Tragic, but that's just how things work, I guess, when you're trying to do a show off of a computer. These things are so damn unpredictable. They tell you things are working when they ain't. So, anyways, as I was saying, the show's going to be pretty fun today. Loke won't be with us because he's hanging out with his family and he has some personal things that he has going on, which is totally fine. I went on a cruise recently. I had some stuff going on, so we got each other's backs. It is what it is. But I was just saying we're going to talk today about Metal Eden because that game I got an opportunity to give the game a try, seeing that the demo is out and free on all consoles. I mean, excluding the Switch, but and PC as well. So if you got Steam, you can hop on there and play. If you got a Xbox or a PlayStation, you're good to go. The demo lasts about an hour and a half, I'd say. Is that about right?
What's funny is I literally just recorded front to back the demo on hard, and I checked my recording after I was done. It was 38 minutes.
Oh, so you blitzed.
I just so like a normal person, yeah, about an hour 15 minutes. But like if you play it like an asshole, then about 40 minutes.
Well. Okay, Matt. Now you said you beat it in 3 minutes. It took me about an hour and a half. But but
Hmm.
but but, but please tell them how many times you beat it prior, because I know this half
Yeah,
hour
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
is probably by far your quickest.
Oh yeah, it's got to be my quickest. So I beat it. Just like I forgot it even existed, and then our buddy Hard Days Mike said something about it. I was like, oh shit, that's right. I wanted to try this out, so I downloaded it on Xbox last night. Beat it. Like like, dude, there was multiple points throughout the first playthrough where I'm like, oh no, the demo's about to end, and then it gives you a whole nother level, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, dude. And so I beat it that time. I immediately downloaded it on PlayStation just because like I haven't played a whole bunch on PlayStation and it's kind of been sitting there. And I also want to make sure my PlayStation's like good to go for when Death Stranding 2 comes out. So I downloaded it there. I played it there front to back. Great. I downloaded it on Series S. Played it there. This is a Series S version is yeah. And then I downloaded it on PC. I didn't beat it there, but I did play it there. I'll probably finish that tonight. I'm not far off the end of that. And then I played it again just before the show on Series X, front to back, and that was the 38-minute run.
All right. Let's see, Matt. Do you happen to have any gameplay with you right now?
I actually do. I've got
Can you
30
share it
minutes
on the
of that.
screen?
I have no idea how to do that. Hold on, let me
Is
see.
there not a share button?
Share media. Let's see.
Yeah, I just have to give you authorization, but you should be able to do it.
All right. Gameplay. All right, at
Because
38 minutes, 18 seconds.
yeah, there we go. Hit the play button, buddy.
Oh, I gotta hit the play button. Okay.
Oh, I can I can hit it. I hit it for you. But let's go on ahead and just leave it on just for a second. Go on ahead and talk yourself through this a little bit.
Okay, so this is, I mean, as you can imagine, right at the start, they just kind of throw you into a little bit of combat, get you familiar with the gun you're using, and there's 3 guns in the in the demo. I think I didn't count the slots of like the actual weapon slots.
Well, there's 4 guns.
There's 4?
There's,
Hold on.
there's a shotgun, there's a pistol, there's is there only 3?
Yeah, there's only 3 because you get that first one, that first weapon that isn't this weapon right here. You get that.
Yeah. The one that just needs to reload on its own.
Yes, and then you get a shotgun, like a pump action shotgun,
And you get
as
a
well.
pistol.
Well, the pistol's like, so you're talking about the second weapon you get, like the one that's not far from this area, right?
Right, that pistol.
Yeah.
Like, did you put a laser on it?
I put like a thing. So there was 2 things that you could do. You could get like homing. I think they call them missiles, but I don't really know that they work like missiles. And then you could also do like a thing where you could charge a shot, and that's the one I got. You could charge a shot and then shoot somebody, and it does like a ton of damage. But dude, like yeah, so those 3 weapons, and I guess 4 if you count the additional. Like,
Yeah, like the alternate fires.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's where I got confused because I was like, hold on a second, I was using, but that's right, I was using the alternate fire for this because you got to hold the alternate fire and then shoot with the other with your actual primary fire.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is really it threw me off for a second because it's almost like you're like looking down scope, but you're not.
Yes. Yes. So, and that's another thing in this game. Like aiming, there is no aiming. I mean, it's like it's very much a boomer shooter in the sense.
Well, there's
that
no zooming.
Yeah, there's no ADS. You're not
There you go.
ADS-ing
ADS.
at
That's
things.
the right way to say it.
So there's that. It's very much a boomer shooter. And the thing that got me like kind of interested in this game, like I think this game was initially shown off. It might have been shown off before. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been following it. But I think it was initially shown off, or I first saw it at the showcase that was that also had Painkiller, the Painkiller reboot at there. And Painkiller was the thing. Like I saw this, I was like, that's cool. But the thing that really caught my attention was Painkiller. And then I saw this had a demo coming out. I was like, I'll keep tabs on that. I'll come back to it. And I completely forgot the demo came out. And I saw
I said
somebody
it yesterday. No, that was me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I completely forgot that shit came out. I saw somebody on Blue Sky also say it was like it's like if Doom and Cyberpunk had a baby. And I was like, huh, okay, that sounds cool, but also I'm kind of skeptical hearing that cuz like I don't understand entirely what that means. Like is it more Cyberpunk or is it more Doom? And then you play it and it's like, "Oh, yeah, that makes complete sense, honestly."
Well,
Like just
visually, it looks like. I
yes,
mean, it doesn't play anything.
yes. Visually, you're playing Doom and essentially a cyberpunk setting.
Very much
Just
so. Yeah.
just a lot of reflections, lots of lights. I mean, like super. I don't know, futuristic weapon design. Like, dude, the game's awesome. This went from me being like, I'll check out the demo whenever, to like, I gotta get this day one. I gotta get this day one. And the cool thing about it is it comes out right before Doom, and I would imagine it's not going to be a terribly long game. I mean, if it's a long game, then that's cool and everything. I'm not going to be mad at that. But like, I would imagine it's not going to be terribly long, so I'll probably pick it up, right before Doom comes out, and then that'll get me fucking ready to go for Doom, and it'll just roll me right into Doom, and it'll be awesome. But yeah, dude, if you like FPS games, just dude, download the demo. It's free, nothing to lose if you don't like it. I would only say that if you're on Series S, I mean, I guess you can give it a shot, but it's not. Um, that's not the ideal way to play the game at all. It's quite rough on Series S at the moment. It's only 30 FPS. It's very blurry. The FSR is incredibly aggressive.
You should do a
It's not,
video on that. Just talk about the demo.
well, I was actually thinking about that. In fact, once we're done here, I'll probably record. I'll probably get it set up and just record a video on that real quick. But like, if you got a Series X or a PS5 or better yet a PC, like a solid PC, because I know there's also some performance issues on PC as well, then you're good to go. Download the demo, check it out, see for yourself if you like it, and let me know about it. Let me know about it if you do like it.
No doubt. This yeah, I got the chance to beat this demo as well, and I had a pretty good time with it. There's some spots that I didn't really know what was happening, and I figured it out and still was able to complete it with fairly, if any, problem at all. Like with fairly no, if any, problem at all is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one part that caught me off guard a little bit, but it was super cool, and I still kicked ass on it. Was like the part where you can get the minigun.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I didn't even know how to pick it up. I just like walked over it and then like put it
Yeah.
in my hand, and I didn't know that it was a minigun. I was just like, I hit the button the first couple times to shoot, and I was like, nothing coming out. So then I held it, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, this is a laser. You did.
Yeah, and it was hitting.
Did that part. Now, was I in the party with you when you played that part before I went to bed?
No.
Okay, because I remember you said something about FPS drops, and I noticed some hitching. I definitely noticed some hitching in the game.
Yeah,
That's
there was some
everywhere.
hitching. You can
Yeah,
see it
there's-
in here if you see, but the thing is you
Exactly,
can't
yeah.
trust it because it's Xbox or StreamYard or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Exactly.
The-
Like
these things.
there's definitely some hitching. I don't know what the engine this is on. I have to look that up. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Unreal, but also I could see it being on something else. Um, but that part specifically that you're talking about, I didn't notice like real hard FPS drops. Like it wasn't hitching, but the FPS was dropping. I didn't notice that until I got to that part. When you first walk in that big giant open room and you grab that laser and there's a bunch of enemies on screen in front of you, that's when I noticed FPS drops. And that was on Xbox Series X, that was on PS5. I haven't played it yet on PC, so we'll see about that. I would imagine it happens on PC also. And Series S is just 30 FPS, so you don't even really think about it. But like, that's when I first noticed like actual FPS drops.
Yeah, I kind of noticed it right when the game started. I was talking to you, remember, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, there's some dropping and stuff going on. Like VRR was working its ass off for that game, but like, I
Yeah.
figure I feel like mixed with all the reflections that they have and the high speed of you running around in that game, they just have some cleaning up to do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the whole idea or concept that they have is really cool. I like the idea of what you do in the game, even though a lot of the stuff is still kind of generic. If you're asking me, more grapple hooks, more running on the wall, a lot of the same stuff that you do. They do implement something that makes it a little bit more interesting, though. You get three or four double jumps depending on how you use your jump pack, which it makes it definitely interesting, especially when you're about to fall off the cliff and then you remember you have a jump pack line. Pretty nice.
Also, did you know that that is a jetpack?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that, and like I got to parts in the game where I was like, dude, how am I supposed to get to that? And it's like, oh, it's a jetpack. I'm an idiot. I played this for like 30 minutes and didn't know that.
Yeah, you can hover. Like you can get upgrades that'll help you be able to hover more, boost more. There's all different types of upgrades as well, and it's kind of a little bit different than Doom because I know in Doom when you upgrade, like it allows you to do one upgrade, then the thing explodes, right?
Yeah.
But in this game, it seems like, hey, if you actually saved up enough, you could possibly do multiple upgrades within that same run. You can reopen the upgrade menu and actually continue on upgrading, which I think is kind of cool. Nice little different touch. A lot of Doom is in this game, though. The cutscenes are pretty phenomenal, as you are seeing right here. They look really nice, especially when you're playing it natively on a console or on your PC. It looks absolutely beautiful. This game has some legs on it for sure, I'd say, and I'd like to see how this mission kind of unfolds. You're kind of talked about or like doing a mission as if you are like this cybernetic thing that's just kind of made up to go through this specific mission. I guess like you're like you're a built cyborg essentially that is there for one mission, and it's just to bring hell, essentially, seemingly. I don't know much about the story yet, but that's what I kind of got of it. Do you have anything to add?
No, that's pretty much spot on from what I've got off of that, off of what I played. It seems like, because if I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm misremembering. There's a point in that game where, like, one of the cutscenes you get like dismantled or something, but then they just put you right back. Like they literally just put you right back together.
Right.
And yeah, so you're made like your entire purpose is literally just killing whatever the fuck's in front of you.
Yeah, and it's really fun. So I highly recommend you guys just give it a try. It's free. It ain't gonna hurt or nothing. But if you know you're into FPS games or Doom or anything like that, you should definitely just give it a shot. See if you like it. But let's go on ahead and move on to one of the main subjects that we're here today for, which I'm excited to announce. If you haven't heard yet, that Oblivion will be coming
Yeah.
out with a remake, and I'm not the biggest diehard fan on remakes right now. I'm kind of tired of them, to be honest. But this one's pretty interesting for sure. Big game, big story, single player. Um, some people would say it was getting a little dated.
Yeah.
So for them to bring it back is is a good sign, and it just more or less screams that Xbox is even further on a roll than we thought this year because we didn't expect this. We didn't expect this until recently, and I guess Xbox support is just supporting the hell out of telling us what the fuck is going on. But anyways, let me go on over to and share my screen real quick. So get that up here.
Mhm. Yeah. hmm So the top photo comparisons look pretty spot on. There's like obviously there's like a kind of a warm filter over the photo, but like the vibrance, at least to me, is still there. Fuzzy Tomato says your audio disappeared again. I'm not entirely sure if that's for everybody. Maybe it's just a quick thing. Um, but yeah, the warm filter is is on that second photo, but like the vibrance is still there. And then that second photo is like I don't know. It looks really, really warm. And there were some people online complaining about how like that this looks bad. They took the soul of Oblivion. They ruined the vibrance and everything. I honestly like when I first saw that photo. I know you can't see it right now because Ham's fixing his shit right now. But like when I saw that photo, my first thought wasn't that it was busted or they took the soul. It was literally that it's probably just a different time of day. Like that's what I initially thought when I saw that. And I think, I mean, who knows? But I feel like I'm right. Yeah, Seawolf says they gave the game the CSI filter. Yeah, like, dude, people freaked out. People really freaked out. And like, I don't know. I'm somebody who's like, I get it because like, honestly, a little bit of a tangent. I feel the same way whenever I see like these quote unquote graphical overhauls for something like Skyrim. Like Skyrim's my favorite game of all time. But every time I see like, look at this new photorealistic mod, graphical overhaul for Skyrim, and I'm just like, dude, you guys sucked all the life out of that shit. That shit looks depleted to me. Um, Looks very detailed, but it looks fucking lifeless. That's not the vibe I get looking at the Oblivion remasters. It doesn't look lifeless to me. Um, and I'm glad that they gave two comparison photos as opposed to just one uh, to kind of, at least for me, kind of cement that because like I think, I mean, I'm sure people are still complaining and having their thoughts and feelings about it and everything, but like for me, I thought this shit looked great. I thought it looked great. I thought the second photo was just like it was probably like sunset in the photo when they took the screenshot, and so it looks a little warmer. Um, yeah, Fuzzy Tomato says every screenshot besides that one looked great. Yeah, dude, like they had this screenshot of like I forget what the build what the giant structure's called because I've actually never beat Oblivion. I've played a lot of it. I've never beat it, and so I can never remember the name of the three like temple buildings, but they had a shot that was like the sunset over those buildings, and it just, dude, that game looks so good. That game looks so unbelievably good. Um, Seawolf Swim says Oblivion is more colorful than Skyrim. You're not wrong about that. You're definitely not wrong about that. I mean, even just playing, like I'm literally playing Oblivion right now as I'm talking. Oblivion's definitely more colorful than Skyrim. Skyrim can be a very nice, it can be a very vibrant game in certain areas, but not like Oblivion. It can't. It's not as vibrant as Oblivion.
I don't know if you can hear me.
I can absolutely hear you, bud.
Jeez Louise. Anyways, all right. Hopefully everybody else can hear me too, because I have no idea if they can or not.
Let them know in the chat. Can you hear Ham Solo?
Super duper annoying that I have to do this so often. All right, so I'm gonna give it a shot and assume that they can hear me right now. But okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So all right, so yeah, I'm not sure what you just said because I was so busy fucking restarting my computer and all this bullshit. But like,
Oh, you're good.
um, it definitely looks.
Oh, you good?
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, okay, I hear you now. I don't know what that was. It
No,
said
I
you
was
said
saying it
it
looks like
looks.
they either went nuts on the saturation or it's just a different type of day.
Yeah, that's my thoughts. Is like because the first photo looks to have the saturation,
Right.
but the second photo is like it just like it looks completely different than the first photo, which makes me think the only thing that would do that, especially on Unreal Engine 5, if they're using like like a dynamic time of day and everything, and like nanite and lumen and all that stuff, then sunset would probably look like that. And I would imagine in that second photo, it's just sunset. That's why it looks like that.
Yeah, Ray Chi says what he one of the things I was thinking it might be Oblivion is trying to melt our eyes with oversaturated colors and blue. So I'm more or less like I seen this and I had those two thoughts like maybe it's oversaturated, maybe it's a different type of day. Um, I've seen a lot of people's choice was to freak out and say, "Hey, this is
Yes.
like garbage."
Oh,
And
yes.
my thoughts are, let me just wait because none of this is like, and I tried to tell this to Matt the other day too. I mean, he is saying it's as official as it can be, but I was like, it's not really beneficial.
Hmm.
Like it's like still like all even though all this seems like there's no way this can't be true, it's still technically never came out of anybody's mouth on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm wondering, like, hey, did we see old photos? Did we see? I'm assuming these are new photos, right? But like, and
Yeah.
also, did they go about trying to show this in this in the best light, right?
Hmm.
Because I don't know if this was actually supposed to be an advertisement for it, or if this is just somebody comparing and
Well,
contrasting.
well, so oh, you're talking about like the proper like here's a side by side.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say because the photos themselves are from obviously they're from I can never remember the name of the studio. Virtuous. The developer's website. I guess they were uploaded. Somebody in like France uploaded them in preparation for the game being announced and everything, like screenshots from the trailer. And I don't know if what to your point, I don't know if like that direct 2025 versus 2006 comparison is directly in the trailer. Maybe it is, but like I mean, apparently everything there is from stills of the trailer. So we'll see for ourselves probably next week if that is true.
No doubt. So there was somebody else that said something. I think it was Fuzzy Tomato.
Hmm.
Said that I've never played Oblivion, so I'm looking forward to it. And I'm in the same camp as that. Matt, you want to talk about your past or history with Oblivion? Because I
Bro,
know it's kind of all
yeah,
over the place a little bit.
it's very all over the place. Because when Oblivion came out, I didn't play games like Oblivion. I really didn't. I didn't care to play games like Oblivion, and that's me. That was me just
Mhm.
being, kind of closed minded because at that time all I played was Halo, and then a little bit after that I played some Call of Duty. But like it was like a 5 year period where all I played was Halo. And then Oblivion comes out. My buddy's like, "Oh, you got to check out this game," knowing full well that I don't play games like that. I went over to his house. He showed me it. I remember being like really impressed by like the physics and everything. I remember him showing me like he pushed some logs down a hill onto some enemies and killed them. I was like, that shit is cool as hell, but like never played it. And fast forward to like 2017, 2017 maybe. It was on sale, backwards compatibility for Xbox. I bought it, played a little bit of it. I was like, this is pretty damn good. Still never beat it, and still to this day haven't beat it. But I've made so many characters. I've played. If I had to guess, dude, I've played well over 150 hours of Oblivion, which is nuts because I've never beat the game. But like, the game's super fun. Even now, as dated as it is, it's it's a little rough around the edges, but it's still really fun. So like looking at this remake, dude, it's tidying some things up, making a few changes to the gameplay, the archery in particular, because archery is not very good in Oblivion as it stands right now. Making some changes to the fighting and everything. Obviously, the huge visual overhaul. Man, I cannot wait. You said you haven't played Oblivion. Have you tried Oblivion at all? Or you've just flat
No,
out never played it.
I've only downloaded it a few different
Hmm.
times, but just never found the time to play it because I never really found interest in playing it until Bethesda ended up all over Game Pass, and I was like, oh, sweet, I can go back and try that at
Yeah, yeah.
right because then it was kind of advertised to me. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind for me because it was so long ago that it came out.
Hmm.
But now it's kind of it had some interest when it dropped in the Game Pass, and then I was thinking about playing it, and very similar to Matt, I heard that they were making a remake or remaster, and I was just like, I might as well just save my time from here.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I was in the middle of a playthrough when the original Reddit post came out from the ex Virtuous employee about the remaster, and as soon as I saw that, because I remembered it was also in the documents from the whole FTC and CMA and all that stuff with ABK. So once I saw that Reddit post, I was like, okay, well, I'm done with my playthrough. I'm not gonna beat this game just to come back and beat it again in like a year or 2 years. So
yeah. I've been seeing other people say this, and I think it's funny. But of course, you see the comment on the screen probably from Big Mad Mo saying Oblivion or Oblivion better than Skyrim, and I've seen
mm,
many people say that, like not just today or yesterday or last
mhm.
week, but like in the past and stuff.
Our buddy Vinny feels that way.
Right? He loves Oblivion like crazy.
Yes,
Right?
I, I'm
So,
I'm a
where are your
Skyrim
thoughts
fan.
with that? And where are your thoughts with that? Because not only have you never beat it,
Yeah.
but you were willing to wait in a game like Skyrim. You've never really been willing.
So Skyrim is okay to me. I'll just say it out front. Skyrim to me is my favorite game ever made. I don't think there's ever been a game that, for me, has been better. Not only not better, but like even remotely close to as good as Skyrim. Like, there's been some fucking amazing games in my life, but Skyrim is just number one, no questions asked, and it's not really close. Um, Now, that's also coming from somebody whose first RPG was Skyrim. So you kind of got to keep that in mind also. If my first RPG was Oblivion, maybe it would be Oblivion. I it's hard to say, but from playing Oblivion after Skyrim, I can see why somebody would feel the way they feel. Like I can see why Vinny feels like, dude, Oblivion's the best thing ever because it's fucking awesome. And if I played it first, I'd probably feel the same way. I would imagine. So I mean, like, I don't get too into the debate on that because it's like, dude, I could see it going either way for just about anybody. Honestly, they're the same kind of game, different settings. I know Vinny was just talking about it last night. Like, one of the reasons he loved Oblivion more than Skyrim was the fact that there were so many different elements of the world of Tamriel. I think it's the overarching
Right.
world is called
There's like
Tamriel.
different biomes.
Yeah, there's not even just different biomes, but like you get some of the people from Skyrim from that area. You get some of the people from Morrowind. You get some of the people from obviously I think I could be wrong about this.
No,
Let
he
me
said
know in
it's
the
like a
chat.
cookout. You get everybody
Yeah,
back
it's
together.
like it's a big ass melting pot from the whole world versus Skyrim is like you got Nords and that's about it. And Oblivion's very much a lot of different things into one, and I can totally see that just from the amount that I've played. I can totally see that.
Oh man, I got some more funny comments that I want to read off right here. Seawolf says, "Wow, Mo, I actually agree with you on something because they never agree on shit." But I also got Fuzzy Tomato here saying, "Yeah, I pretty much only played multiplayer games until a few years ago. There's a ton of stuff like Oblivion that I need to try." And I'm kind of with him with that.
Yeah.
Like all the way up until like I stopped playing Ark Survival Evolved. Like I was pretty much multiplayer from there prior, right? So pretty much up to like 2016, I played some single player games, but they had to be like insane to me. Like Rise Son of Rome was like insane to me, you know, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, nowadays, like I think single player games are doing fantastic for the most part. I just feel like some of them are copying from each other a little bit too much. And they're not setting themselves apart from being who they should really be. Ray Chi was saying Morrowind over Oblivion, Daggerfall over Morrowind,
Ooh.
and he said Arena over Daggerfall. I mean, this man, he doesn't care.
Chi must be a classic gamer because dude, I'll tell you, I've
Those
heard
games are
that
tough to play now.
bro. I've heard so many people say Morrowind is the greatest thing Bethesda's ever done. And I remember getting that game again, like on sale, and I was like, I'll try this out. I can't wait. And I played it for to be real, I gave it about 2 hours. I gave it about 2 hours in that initial playthrough, and I was like, dude, I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like this, like I'm walking into fights and getting like one shotted repeatedly. I'm like walking up to enemies and stabbing them, and it's not doing any damage. It's not stabbing them because I'm not hitting them because like my skills are low. So even if I'm in front of an enemy, I can't. It's not guaranteed that I'm gonna hit them. So I'm just getting housed in fights. I'm running out of stamina all the time because if you move forward, there's no
Yeah,
sprinting.
moving is stamina.
Yeah, moving is stamina. Unless you like slightly move the stick forward and like walk at a snail's pace, you're draining stamina. So I had to drop it. I just had to drop it.
Tragic. Seawolf Seawolf Swim says Oblivion has the better expansions too. So from what I heard, that game has a ridiculous amount of end game to get into.
Yeah.
Does it have more than Skyrim, you think?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I would imagine it's probably at somewhere in the same ballpark, if not a little more, if not a little less. Because from what I understand, like there's a decent amount of expansions. I know there's one expansion in particular, the Shivering Isles, which is like for a lot of people like absolutely the peak of a Bethesda expansion. So I don't know. I'm excited to find that out myself, honestly.
Here is an interesting take from Ray Chi. And by the way, what's cracking Blind Giant? Away he slid through. He's here. He has a comment that I'm gonna be reading here in just a little bit. But Ray Chi with this one saying Skyrim was a massive success because Fable was MIA. Before you answer that, Matt, I also want to throw on another layer to this. Skyrim was also a massive success because of the success from Oblivion.
Mm-hmm. Well, dude,
And I can only imagine that success transferring over and just being like, wow, this is just as good, if not better, to a lot of different people.
yeah, and imagine Skyrim the time it released in 2011. So people are hyped. Elder Scrolls fans are hyped off of Oblivion, obviously, and then you have like RPG fans hyped off of the fact of they've had this run of Morrowind, Oblivion, Fallout 3. They brought back a dead franchise because Fallout was a dead franchise at that time for a little bit, not like a decade or anything, but like kind of like a dead franchise. Bethesda picked it up, brought it back. Fallout 3 was fucking like critically acclaimed, one of the best RPGs of all time. And then after Fallout 3, I I can't remember if New Vegas came out before. Either way, New Vegas was Obsidian, so I guess it doesn't. But like Oblivion, Fallout 3, and then into Skyrim, and the hype for Skyrim was insane. And I wasn't even in that world at the time. Like before Skyrim released, it wasn't on my radar at all. The only reason that got on my radar is because my buddy who was really into Oblivion was like, "You should check out Skyrim." And I looked it up and I saw like there's fucking dragons everywhere and shit. And you were like, you could shout at enemies and send them flying through the fucking air. And I was like, dude, what is this? And then I played it. I got it a used copy. I don't know, like 2 months after launch, there was a used copy at GameStop, and I got it, and I was like, dude, this is one of the greatest things I've ever played. But like in terms of Raichi's comment,
Yeah,
versus
why
Fable,
do you think Fable slowed or made Skyrim blow up even further, seeing that it was unavailable?
I think. I think. Listen, I think the fact that Fable wasn't quite there probably helped, just in the sense that like it's an RPG. They're both RPGs. You know, there's excitement for both of them, especially after Fable 2. Fable 2 is like unanimously praised as the best one in the series. So people are really hyped for Fable 3. And then on the other side, people are super hyped for Skyrim. So it's like Fable 3 comes out and it's not, it's just not the best. And then everybody's like, oh God, what can I play now? Like that let me down. What can I play now? And like I think the obvious answer for a lot of people is Skyrim in that situation.
Yeah, Skyrim versus Fable. I feel like where Fable kind of failed a little bit is it didn't like it grew, but it grew, I feel like, the wrong way. I feel like maybe people were expecting it to grow into being more like we either it's realistic or just kind of grounded, I guess. I feel like it may have kind of missed the mark and went more for like a whimsical kind of aspect, which it's always had the whimsicalness to it, but I don't feel like it maybe transformed as well as 1 to 2 did.
No,
Because
yeah,
1 to 2 was amazing.
yeah. I've only beat one, and one was great.
I beat 1, I beat 2, and then 3 is just kind of, it's just different. Like the way the whole game is made and plays is completely different than 1 and 2, and there's parts of it that that really bother me. Like especially having to go back and change in the room and then come back to the level, and like it just feels so cumbersome when I played that game. So so I mean I could see that. I could see what Raichi is saying. But I really think the massive success was because of how good Oblivion was, and it just made people salivate. And once they got into Skyrim, it was just no questions asked. Seawolf says the load times for Oblivion were atrocious.
I can imagine back on the 360. Those things must have been horrible. They're fast as shit now on the Series X and S. Don't got time to read them now.
No doubt. Blind Giant says, no matter how many times I started or how long I played Skyrim, I've never beat it.
I'm sure there's tons of people like that.
Yeah, it's me. I thought I beat the game, and then I found out it was an expansion. I was like, God damn it.
Yep. bro, I didn't do anything. Like, I didn't get the dragon shot. My first time playing Skyrim, I didn't get the first dragon shot. I played that game an entire... So, I got that in, like, March or something. March or April. I played that game all summer. And didn't get the first dragon shot. And that's like something now when I boot up the game, I have that within the first hour, probably. It's just, I feel like there's so many people who boot that game up and there's so much shit to do. You either get overwhelmed and stop playing, or you just get distracted all the time. And you're doing everything but the thing you need to do.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean that game, it can take you into any direction, and you can just kind of live in it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, that's without mods, right? If you add mods in,
Yeah.
Yep. And I wanted to clarify something because Fuzzy Tomato says no one wanted realistic or grounded Fable, and I feel like maybe you're interpreting what I said wrong. What I didn't exactly mean like realistic as in like graphics and stuff like that. I was talking about like more of a darker tone, something like just more. I don't know. I was thinking maybe I'm playing this Fable that runs at 60 FPS. It looks a lot cleaner. I was expecting it to be a little bit more graphic, I guess. I was expecting it to, be a little bit more like rougher around the edges, but it's still pretty whimsical. And I guess that's just what Fable is. We're seeing that with the new Fable that's coming out. It's still very whimsical, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like they have a better direction, and also with the adaptation of an actual comedian within the game, I thought was kind of.
Yeah. Especially Richard Iwata. Dude, I fucking love Richard Iwata.
I felt like just showing him in the trailer kind of set the tone of what I'm expecting this game.
Yeah, that's 100%.
And I don't feel like Fable 3 did that. I feel like Fable 2 was really good at setting the stage with the story and making it make sense for you to follow through with it. Fable 3, the story was okay. Like I said, I haven't finished it, so like there's still more that I need to do. But it just feels very compartmentalized in the terms of flow versus 1 or 2. I don't know. I'll definitely have to play a little bit more, but I don't know how excited I am to. I might try to finish Fable 3 when I get a release date on Fable and it starts to get close to it. I do want to beat that game, so it's just off of the list. Seeing that I already put like I want to say 15 hours in it at least, which isn't a whole lot, but it's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but let's go on ahead and move to the other topics. I wanted to go on ahead and knock this one out of the park, get this one over with, and the next topic that we're going to be talking about is Variety's interview that they had with Microsoft chief Phil Spencer. They talked about the Minecraft movie gamble, which was I guess a gamble for them, but it ended up being bigger than Mario,
Yeah.
and people are acting a damn fool in those movie theaters. It doesn't make me exactly want to go.
Do you see someone brought in a live chicken?
A live chicken. I've seen
Yeah.
actual fireworks going off. Like
Yeah.
I seen one. Jack Black actually appeared and started like saying wild shit and whatnot. Like I don't know, it was crazy. But he also talks about Fallout Season 2 and mixing Hollywood pursuits with Xbox business priority. So it says right here, I'm gonna go on ahead and just read some of the article, and then we'll kind of get into like the Q&A part of it. But it says the execs at Microsoft, Warner Brothers, and Legendary can now breathe a collective sigh of relief as a Minecraft movie proves to be certified hit after its second big weekend at the box office, heading into the Jack Black and Jason Momoa led movie April 4th launch. Uncertainty surrounding how the project would perform was high, but Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer was ready for whatever reaction was coming. Hopes were high amid the company's hit Fallout TV series at Amazon, which that fucking show was a banger. Though the risk was clear following the cancellation of its Halo adaptation at Paramount Plus, not to mention the mixed results for projects from competitors for every Last of Us and Super Mario Brothers movie, there seems to always be a Borderlands that knocks the genre back a peg. Oh, they did Borderlands foul right there. But you know
Phil
what?
Spencer's like, yeah, that shit sucked.
They they spitting though. I mean, they ain't even lying. But like, they did do Borderlands foul with that last comment. Like, damn. But anyways, continuing on, it says, but the gaming giant desires to take the risk on a move into Hollywood outweighed the fear of a flop, and the gamble proved to be worth it for Phil or for Spencer. It says right here. Minecraft developer Mojang and Microsoft's franchise focus teams led by Kayleen Walter. Spencer spoke with Variety for a feature story ahead of the movie release, and along with his hopes for a Minecraft movie, revealed plans for future Microsoft IP adaptations, including Fallout Season 2, while balancing Microsoft gaming and Xbox first priority video game. Here are where the questions start, and we'll just kind of go through each question, and or we'll go through the question if it seems. I'm assuming maybe there might be a couple of questions that aren't as interesting, but I want to go over what our thoughts are for some. So the first one starts out with saying, "What will be your metric for success for a Minecraft movie within Microsoft?" And Phil says, "I'm going to come back to respecting our player community. Minecraft is such a big community of players and creators already. Obviously, with the time that the game's been in the market over 15 years now, which is pretty wild to think about." And just incredibly successful in the video game space. So when we do something like this, the opportunity is for some to bring Minecraft to them. Maybe they don't play video games, and this is an opportunity for them to see it on the big screen. What is this Minecraft thing? And get invested in what? what is this Minecraft thing, and get invested in it. Okay, so it's like essentially a question he's asking back. But almost more important to me are the people who have been playing, who have been part of the community, and when they see this, they're proud. That Minecraft is something that they've been investing in with their time, and they see it represented on the big screen and doing well now. That is the high order for me. How do people feel? Does this respect the IP? Does it respect the franchise? Then, how it flows through to the business is we will see more players playing the game across all platforms, and obviously, the game has the business model to allow people to invest as they're playing, and the business can perform, and that'll be the real world metric for us, looking at the impact that the movie has as it raises awareness. Minecraft is something that has been around long enough and is a successful business that has to be additive to what we're doing. So your whole thought process around that, Matt, with the Minecraft movie it being a success, did you expect it to be a success? Are you thinking about watching it at any time? Are you interested at all in it? What are your kind of thoughts around this, brother?
So I knew that was going to be a
Blue
success.
Diamond. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I knew that was going to be a success based entirely on the fact that I don't want to watch it. So like it feels like whenever I see a trailer for something and I'm like, I mean, usually, not all the time. There's Borderlands. It feels like when I see a trailer for something and I'm just like, dude, what the hell is this shit? People seem to love it. People seem to absolutely love it. And that is exactly what happened with Minecraft. And I don't understand because I talked to Twan and Twan went to go see it. And Twan said Twan said something like that movie was awful. But he also
No,
said
no, no, no. What he said was, I walked out of that movie somehow dumber than when I walked in. That's what he said.
yes. But like even off the thing, like off of our show, he said that movie wasn't good, but that was the best that was by far the best movie theater experience I ever had.
That's
And
interesting.
I was like I said, well, God bless. I like, and that seems to be the case for a lot of people. And I mean, you know, obviously, I would imagine most people who go to see the movie, especially the people who are going to see it multiple times, probably enjoy the movie. I think it's also, especially if you're a kid, probably amplified by the fact that you don't know what the fuck's going to happen in that movie theater when you go to see that movie. You have no idea. Like people get up and have like rounds of applause. Some dude has a live chicken. Some guy's setting off fireworks. Like you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen at the movie theater. So it's
Jesus.
like
Sounds like a dark alley.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I think for some people the movie is really good, but it's made even better by the fact that it's like you're going out for a night of mystery and just debauchery. You don't know what's
Oh
gonna
man,
happen.
it's the kids' version of going to the club and fucking it up.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's just little gremlins causing chaos in a movie
Yeah.
theater.
Tear the club up. They on their 360 Mafia. Tear the club up. Oh man, it's crazy. But anyway, so next thing, the next question or thing that was highlighted here was, with that in mind, how do you decide what IP you're willing to take a risk on and manage expectations and prepare for the chance the movie underperforms? He says it starts with the fact we're in the entertainment business, and whether you're building games, movies, television, doing an album, you have to accept you're going to have a hit rate, and it's not going to be 100%. And making sure the culture inside of the teams is we can do new IP, we can do new games. Some things will vastly exceed our expectations, and some we will be disappointed by the results. And let's learn and go forward as an organization. I tell you what, Microsoft has that ability. Not very many companies have that.
Yeah, that's true.
That I want people like that are here watching the show right now just to like kind of understand that if you don't already. I'm sure a lot of people that are here already understand that. But Microsoft is a company where they can be like, "Oh, we made a whoopsie. Maybe next time."
Yep.
Compared to another company that's like, "Oh, we made an oopsie. We're out of business."
Yep. It's over.
It's
We're
over. Yeah,
done.
exactly. Cooked. And it says, all right, so and that just goes to be something even in the game space alone about the culture of being in Microsoft gaming and Xbox. So then when you look at this and you say, okay, these kind of opportunities of a place that we are not native as creators, we build video games. I really start from, does the team have a unique point of view around what they want to get done? Have they found a partner that really understands the franchise and the core of what these worlds are, and then support them? And I will say, support them when something turns out to be crazy successful, and also support them when something isn't as successful. The next thing is always the most important thing. And you got to make sure that you have a culture of teams that are willing to take risks and bets on doing kind of cool, innovative new things. And I think the Minecraft movie will be one of those. Well, I mean, that definitely set it in the right direction. So if there were any sort of companies that were kind of looking at Microsoft after Fallout TV show and said they just got lightning in the bottle, they can't do that shit. They might have some people looking at them again after not only doing a successful TV show, but also then doing a movie that made like Sonic and Mario take a seat.
Yeah.
That's something, right? Because those two names have been in video gaming for like 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum. One of them longer.
Yeah, definitely.
So to see that, a video game that really doesn't have like protagonists like that, right? It doesn't really have that guy like Mario or Sonic where it's just like that one character kind of sucks all the air out of it, right? They had to make that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had to make that. They didn't have an Ellie in The Last of Us where it just had like a character that is just like, they had to be like I'm trying to think of like, I don't even know how I'd go about making
1 second.
something like that.
I'll be right back real quick.
No, you're fine. I don't even know how I'd go about making a movie like that because it's just so random. The game is just so open. You do whatever you want. I feel like it's wild that they missed so hard on a video game that had so much lore being Halo, right? But when it came to two different video games that were open world, and you can kind of do what you wish with.
All right, I'm back.
Man, I'm currently talking about like I find it wild that Microsoft with a game that had as much lore as Halo they missed.
Mm-hmm.
But a game that has much less lore, like Minecraft did unbelievable. A game that's open world and you make the decisions based on how you feel. Fallout was a super success. Games that you have to kind of almost make a story up. They did a great job with. But the games where the story was already done, they seem to struggle with, that being Halo in specific.
I
Like, isn't that
so
kind of weird, or do you find that to make sense?
so to that I would say, I mean, you're right. Um, I would also say for Halo, I think the problem isn't that the story was already there. It was the fact that the story was already there, and they kind of said, "Forget that. We don't care. We don't care about that." Now, I wouldn't have loved, like, you look at how Last of Us is doing it. Like Last of Us season 1, I thought Last of Us season 1 was good, but it was also like, yo, I know what happens. I know the
Right. It
outcome.
was so
We're
close
going,
to the story that it almost like it
yeah,
took away excitement because you already knew exactly what was going to happen.
exactly. And like, they added a little some spices here and there, some things that weren't in the game, a little backstory, context for things, and that's cool and all. And I like I said, I thought Last of Us season 1 was good. Going into the Last of Us season 2, it's like, dude, I already know what happens. And also the fact that they renewed it for a season 3, I'm like, oh shit, so here we go. They're gonna do half of Last of Us Part 2, and then they're gonna finish it with season 3. Whatever, that's besides the point. But back to Halo, it's like, I think if they would have mixed, if they had a good mix of like, yo, here's the stuff that you know, here's the stuff that you're familiar with, here's the story that you've already seen, and here's context, here's added information to that story, I think Halo would have been a much bigger success. It's just, you got to find a balance of like, because nobody wants to see exactly the same thing we've already played, but also nobody wants you to just ditch it. And to your point about Fallout, I think, and also Minecraft, I think the reason those work is because, like, the games themselves aren't tied to a single story. Like you were saying, they're like, when you boot up Fallout 3 or Fallout 4 or any Fallout, you're whoever you want to be. Same with Minecraft. It's not like as far as I'm aware, there's not like an overarching story in Minecraft. You're just building whatever the fuck you want to build and making your world whatever the hell you want to make it. And I think that kind of enables, a director or writer or whoever the case may be to just be like, we're gonna do this, and we don't got to worry about pissing off fans or whatever the case may be, because it's our own story, just like the game is its own story.
No doubt. I want to hit on one more because a lot of these are kind of movie questions.
Hmm.
I want to hit on one more movie question, and then I want to get into the gaming part so we can kind of keep it moving. I'm not trying to be here for 3 hours. But all right. So the next one that I'm going to read, it says, all right, let me see if this is one. Okay, so this one I find a little interesting. It says, due to the interactive and ongoing nature of the gaming industry, do you find Microsoft is looking more at what fans and users say and respond to it, it than a film studio or a TV studio would? And if you find you have more pressure to respond to those reactions than your studio partners. So essentially, it's asking if they listen to the people a lot more than they would traditionally. And this answer says definitely in the video game space, the line between us as creators and our community of players is very thin. The conversation around Minecraft is such a great example. Minecraft today is as big as it's ever been, and as a franchise, it is doing incredibly well. In the last year, I think 2/3 of our new Minecraft players came from outside the US, which is awesome. Getting feedback around maintaining and growing something like a Minecraft is really important. And in TV and movies, where you kind of do it and then you launch it and step back, it's just very different than how our teams manage the communities. There's content updates that come through. You have to be plugged into the sentiment. Let me scroll down a little bit. Sentiment and the desires, and you have to continue to evolve them. And I'm not gonna say it's a better skill or worse skill than what TV or movie creators do, because I'm respectful of what they do. It's just different how we manage communities, and I do think it's one of the things that allows us sitting here 15 plus years later to see Minecraft where it is, as relevant today as it's ever been.
Yeah.
I actually don't have a whole lot of thoughts on that.
I don't have much to add to that. I mean, he's spot on.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't have. I'm ready to move on to the whole gaming side. So let's go on ahead and do that. So it says right here. It says on the gaming side, what titles are you most excited about for the rest of the year? It says for us and the rest of the calendar year, I really feel about the slate of games. I really feel great about the slate of games. We just had Avowed come out. I have to go back. I have to go backwards and just say Obsidian continues to do a great job. We're obviously talked about the Outer Worlds 2, South of Midnight, Doom. There's more stuff, some stuff that's unannounced, and I'm walking in my head to make sure I don't leak anything.
Yep.
So,
Well,
I mean, obviously the Oblivion thing is out there,
yeah,
right?
something got leaked.
Something got leaked there. So that's interesting, but also it's like I don't know what else they could do this year. I mean, Fable got pushed back. Is there a Call of Duty?
Yeah, it's just Call of Duty this year.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like Xbox has right now they're doing the best of all the platforms to push games out, which is wild to say.
Yeah.
Usually they're in a firm dead last when it comes to output of video games. But clearly the purchases are panning out.
Yep. Not for the past 2 years. Since what was it, 2022? Since the really
2022.
awful year. Yeah,
Yeah.
the really awful year in 2022. They've been pretty on top of things. In terms of having games to release.
And it's
And
been
there's
getting faster.
oh yeah, it's been getting a lot faster. I
Like
think
2023, the gas started to get pushed down, and I feel like we're on cruise control. We're starting to get to cruise control.
yeah. I mean, there's because he said unannounced games. Obviously, I think one thing that's unannounced, we talked about it, is Oblivion. But I would imagine there's probably some other things that aren't
Contraband.
announced
Or
for this
contraband
year.
is announced, but it's not like
It
in
might as well
stone for a
not
long
be.
time.
Yeah, it might as well not be announced. Like we know that it exists because we saw a trailer for it, like some like
An
inside of a
interactive
garage.
photo, essentially.
Yeah, it's like, but like that's something we need to see. And I would imagine, maybe not, but I would imagine we see that this year. There's questions about that. I want to see more Perfect Dark. Obviously, we saw some of that last year, but I want to see more. I want to see State of Decay. I want to know, is there new things? Is there new things this year or even next year that we haven't seen yet? Because like obviously you go back to last year, the big fucking reveal was Gears of War E Day. Like we didn't know that Gears of War E Day existed. And that was the big reveal. It's like, do you have another thing like that for the show? That is something we don't know about that's gonna blow people's minds. That's gonna be interesting to see. Or what about fucking? There was the rumor about StarCraft. StarCraft, like an FPS StarCraft game. It's like there's so much stuff that could be in the works. There's stuff that is in the works that we already know about. That's just like, dude. I was talking to Mike. I don't know. I don't see a possible way where Microsoft ever has a bad show again. Like I don't see a possibility for Xbox to put on a show and anybody ever again come away feeling like that
They got
wasn't that good.
nothing. Like,
Yeah,
I could see them being like, "Hey, this isn't as good," or "This is way worse than another one," but still walking away with like 2 or 3 games that they're
yeah,
absolutely down with, and I could see that. I could see them definitely being bigger than anything that Nintendo or Sony's going to do for the most part on a regular basis, just for the sheer fact that they just have so much.
yeah.
Not saying that Sony or Nintendo aren't going to have amazing showcase. I still think there's the opportunity that they could beat Microsoft at a showcase every now and then. Every now and again, I just feel like it's just like it'll be tough for them to do that because I feel like they got so many. They've made so many errors in the past, and they've been willing to correct as to where some of the other companies weren't as willing to fix them or just flat out said, you know what, screw it, we're not gonna.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I'm not even gonna say that I think there's a possibility that Sony, definitely not Nintendo. For me, I know like a lot of people will say like they'll see a Nintendo
Yeah, I'm
showcase.
talking about in general. Obviously, I don't think Nintendo's
Yeah,
ever gonna beat it.
yeah, but like I don't even know like to be more realistic that Sony could ever beat another Xbox show. And if they could, it would be one of those shows that's like once every cycle whenever Naughty Dog has a new game or whenever Insomniac shows something new or something like that. But even then it's like that's one thing, one really good thing versus just a fucking wall of just stuff from Xbox. Where it's like, eventually they're gonna show off Elder Scrolls 6. And Elder Scrolls 6 when it comes out and that's gonna be like one of the biggest games maybe ever. Like that's the kind of thing it's gonna be. So it's like it's like they have stuff like that. Doom's coming out later this year. Doom is always a big deal. It's coming out next month. It's always a big deal. So it's like Call of Duty, obviously, every fucking year is always a big deal. Like it's just they've got so many things. They got so many studios that like at least I don't know, one, two, three. What are other huge things? It's like Bethesda's huge, Call of Duty's huge, you know, like Doom and like they've got a bunch of different studios working on a bunch of different things, and
Diablo, Blizzard,
yeah, Blizzard's another huge studio. like they've got so
Mojang
many.
right here. We were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just they've got so many like monumental things, like fucking milestones of like IP that like yeah, Sony can come out with a show, have an amazing show, and show like we'll see intergalactic gameplay, which can't wait for that. But like, is that enough? I mean, that gameplay is gonna have to be fucking unreal. That shit's gonna have to be hitting like like I don't even know for it to outshine Elder Scrolls 6, for example. It's just Xbox has so much shit, man. So much. It's insane.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We only have like 2 or 3 more left. We'll try to kind of get through them quick because I want to get going. But it says with the successful launch of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle back in December and the upcoming release on PlayStation, do you have large plans for updates to that game as well as potential franchises? Phil goes to say, I will say we're happy with Indy and the players and the reception. We do think there's life in that franchise. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So essentially, if I'm reading in between the lines, it sounds like there's gonna be some sort of like, I mean, isn't there already an expansion that's supposed to come to it?
Yeah, they have an expansion coming.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, anyways, he continues to say we're launching on PlayStation here pretty soon. I think that'll be a cool moment. I was really inspired by Machine Games taking someone else's IP and doing something so unique, and I'm inspired about what that team can do next. Certain people were kind of pushing them on the first person versus third person, and I think once you play it, you realize you are indie. But going forward, I also want to give the team the ability to do our own games and our own franchises. We have a lot of room to tell new stories as well, and I want to make sure that option that's an option for us. Thoughts on that, Matt? That one was kind of quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good to hear. Like, also, it's kind of stuff, in regards to indie, we kind of assumed like it'd be kind of nuts if in 5 years from now there wasn't a sequel to indie out. That'd be kind of insane. So like I feel like that for a lot of people, just speculating was a given that that would happen. So I mean, yeah, like it's all good. It's all good news. All good news. All things I like to hear.
Yeah, those. I mean, I'm excited to see that they, are going to continue on with that franchise. I had a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind
Dude, I love that
re-downloading
game.
it back and playing a new piece as it came out, and just kind of slowly meandering around and whooping people's asses and whipping and shit. Um, no, it was a great experience, and happy to see that they found some success in it because a lot of people were kind of not certain if that game was successful or not. I thought it was fine, and then on top of it, it's already announced to come on PlayStation as well, which I'm sure a lot of people are gonna buy it over there as well and want to play it. And that's not subscription numbers; those are just flat out purchase copies.
Purchases. I mean, dude,
Um,
I went last night looking for the Metal Eden demo on PlayStation. One of the first things I saw when I booted up the store. In fact, the first thing, giant, huge, giant on my screen was Indiana Jones. You know, what was also there is Forza. So like, yeah, those games are gonna do very, very good over there.
Man, I thought it was a joke when somebody said they showed up PlayStation. They said this is an Xbox. Well, it is damn near.
It's good.
The only thing it's missing
Well,
is the subscription service. That's all. That's the only thing it's missing.
pretty
Well, I
much.
mean, there's obviously a lot of other stuff missing, but I'm just saying, like,
Sure,
for
yeah.
the main reason why we, we get hungry, we eat. That
Hmm.
is serving food from McDonald's at Burger King. It is.
Yeah.
It's a wild thing to see, but I I almost feel like it's really weird to see that both sides found a way to win
Yeah.
in a shitty
It is.
situation. Because I can only imagine Microsoft, they never really wanted to give IPs to PlayStation, right? And I can only imagine PlayStation maybe laughing and saying, "Hey, we got your IPs now." They're like, "Wait, why is this selling more?" You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying
Yeah.
there are some great things about this from both sides, but there's some excuse me, wait a moment type of shit that's going on with it. Like
Yep.
I would be a little pissed if I sold donuts and I allowed another company that sold donuts to come in and they were outselling me left.
Yeah.
Like whether I'm still making enough money to provide and do everything that I need to do, that would still bother me a little bit, right? Like I go to work, I do what I gotta do. Everybody likes me there, everybody knows me there, everybody respects me. Nobody respects this motherfucker. But he always got numbers. You know what I'm saying? So like we've all had that situation where we don't understand why this motherfucker's here, but everybody else is clearly telling me why they're there.
Yeah.
But
That's
anyways, I just think it's kind of interesting to watch from both sides. Um, I mean, think about it. Apple couldn't have been happy with Microsoft Word doing so well on Apple.
yeah, that's true.
Apple was like, "Yo, why don't we have something? Why do we need these motherfuckers?"
That's definitely true.
So it's no different in the gaming space, and I dare anybody to argue it. It's no different. Seawolf says, "Do you have demon souls?" I mean, that's kind of my point. Microsoft doesn't have doesn't have Siri. It doesn't have the FaceTime or anything like that, or like Google phones don't have FaceTime. But you can get a lot of the Google products over on Apple. Google does not give a fuck.
That's a fact.
Google does not care. Now remind yourself that Google is on the same wavelength of money as a Microsoft. And Microsoft is essentially doing the same thing that Google just did. So, I mean, we can look and be like, "Oh, poor Microsoft," or "bad company," or "they're hurting," but the reality is they are not hurting. They are far from hurting.
Yep.
They are actually taking advantage of others. So,
Getting that
but
money.
essentially, that is the motivation. That's the attitude. But anyways, I'm gonna continue on. It says Switch 2 is set to be released soon, as you've begun to branch out with games available on PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. Do you have plans for specific projects on Switch 2? He goes on to say, "So we've been supporting Switch 1 I want to support Switch 2. Nintendo has been a great partner. We think it is a unique way for us to reach players who aren't PC players, who aren't players on Xbox. It lets us continue to grow our community of people that care about the franchises that we have, and that's really important for us to make sure we continue to invest in our games. I'm really a big believer in what Nintendo means for this industry and us continuing to support them and getting the support from them for our franchise. I think is a important part of our future. I mean that's an interesting take because Nintendo don't think the same way.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. But I mean, again, it's Xbox. Microsoft is like, we want the money, and I mean, if you put your game, people talk about them putting their games on PlayStation, dude. If they put if they put their games on Nintendo, which they're gonna do, I mean, they've been quite clear about it. It's like that's you thought PlayStation was gonna bring you in some money, dude. Nintendo is definitely gonna get you some money. They're gonna get you some money. Uh, especially like, dude, there's like a lot of this past gen. There's like a lot of people who like, I'll buy my Nintendo Switch for the exclusives, but I still want to play Call of Duty, right? Well, I need to get two different consoles because my Switch isn't gonna do it. Now you just get the Switch. Now you just get the Switch. You buy Call of Duty on your Switch. You buy whatever. Dude, imagine if they come out with Banjo Kazooie. Like, I don't give a shit about Banjo Kazooie, but like that's a big thing for Nintendo. And
And you know what? And you know what? You saying that them making a 10-year deal and essentially helping support Nintendo then means Nintendo would be more willing to say, hey, go on ahead and make this IP. The IP
Yeah.
that we've been telling you that you can't make, well, we'll make it with you now because you actually made a deal with us.
Well, I think the thing is with Banjo Kazooie, they can make that.
Well,
They've
I
been
know
able
they
to
can make that, right? Because they own Rare.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a matter of finding who to make it. Which, funny enough, over the last week, I mean, I think apparently they said it before. Twan was talking about it, but like over the last week, it came out again that the head of Toys for Bob was basically saying like, yeah, we'll make Banjo Kazooie. We will totally make that. Let us get in contact with Microsoft, whoever, to make it happen. We want to make Banjo Kazooie.
That'd be
So
sick.
like, dude, if ever there was a possibility for that game to come back and a time for it to come back, when Microsoft's doing this whole multi-platform thing, I mean, now's the time. I mean, obviously, you would imagine Toys for Bob is working on something else at the moment, but like after that, give them Banjo Kazooie. Let them work on that, dude, and put that as many places as you can, and just see that money flow in. See that Nintendo money flow in.
All right, so the second to last question that I got here is it says, does Nintendo revealing its next gen console make you antsy to announce what Xbox has coming next in that space? Spencer says, no. I think all of this all of us in the industry should focus on our communities and the player base that we're building. I get inspired by what a lot of different creators do and other platform holders. But I believe in the plans that we have. Obviously, we're evolving what it means to be Xbox and meeting players in so many different places. There are 3 billion people who want to play video games on the planet. and I get up every morning and think about how Xbox can be more relevant to the 3 billion people who play. And that's through making sure we are leading in how our games and our platform features can be available in as many places as possible. Whether that's cloud, whether it's people playing on PC, whether it's people playing on console. We are really driven by trying to grow our franchise and our platform to be an important part of gaming for as many of those 3 billion gamers as we can reach. Thoughts,
Love it.
Matt?
Love it. That's I think what a lot of people want to hear at the moment, especially now, given again the multi-platform push. I think the thing that's most on people's minds is what does it mean for the platform? And it's good. It's good to have, Phil Spencer come out and kind of reassure. Like, obvious, like, we know they're going to support the Switch. We know they're supporting PlayStation with the game. So it's like, that's a given. But it's good to hear Phil Spencer come out and say, like, the platform is still the focus. And that they want to push the platform in as many ways as possible. And we'll see how that unfolds. I guess it kind of goes back to the whole thing. What did he say a couple months ago? Like, we want our platform focus to be like hardware differentiations. I think that's how you say it. Like, what makes our hardware unique versus the other thing besides games? Like, what can we make our thing do that the other thing can't do? And we'll see how that goes. But it's cool to know that it's still an important focus, and they really are pushing it.
No doubt. I'm happy to see this, of course. I'm always happy to see that there's, still the hunger, right? Because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of us, we see Phil. He's been doing this for a really long time. And not long ago, after Sarah Bond took the position that she took, a lot of people were thinking, maybe Phil's done.
Yeah. Yep.
And that didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. And in fact, in this part of the article where he says, you know, I get up every morning and think about how Xbox can get more relevant to the 3 billion people who play. To me, seeing that it's nice. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, I'm not like it's not jaw dropping or amazing, or maybe I should write him a letter and tell him congratulations on your, like I don't give a shit about any of that. It's not that serious. It's just
Yeah.
nice to know, like just like any sports or whatever, when you see your coach say something that looks deep into the future and you're nowhere near there right now, it's like, all right, well, he still is hungry. His vision is still in motion. So, like, that's nice to see instead of, him saying, oh, I need to start over, or, oh, I'm retiring and I'm having this person replace me and I have no idea where it's going to go, or, hey, I'm on my last legs and I'm, like a lot of people won't announce that type of stuff, but you can kind of sense it in how they communicate.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's some coaches that you see after a basketball game where it's like, this basketball game meant something, and you could just tell by the way he's reacting, oh, bro might get fired. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, oh, bro is on the hot seat right now. Like he's fighting for, like the way he's talking on the podium right now, he's fighting for his life.
Yep.
Like, but the way Phil is talking, it's not like he's fighting for his life. But it's also not of somebody that's completely how would you put that? Content?
Yeah. Content's a good word for it.
So I mean, it's just nice to always see somebody that's still hungry for the game. But anyways, continuing on. This is the last one, I believe.
All right.
Yeah, this is the last one because I'm not doing any more TV show or movie ones. But this one says, how are you viewing Game Pass's ongoing role in the larger Xbox business right now? I'll start with just how many people are playing games. I've always thought about Game Pass as just another option for somebody who wants to play. We have many business models for people playing, from free to play, buying games, discounted games. Game Pass is an option. So when I'm looking at Game Pass, I want to make sure the hours that people are playing continue to go up. That new people see this as a way to get them to find and build their library of games, and will remain focused on that. Our biggest areas of growth right now are PC and cloud, which makes sense since consoles all up are a good business. They're an established business, but they're not really a growing segment in gaming. So we've got good growth on PC. We've got good growth on cloud in terms of users and hours, and And console continues to be a really healthy part of Game Pass, but there isn't a unique need for Game Pass to be the only way for people to play. If everybody who's a Game Pass subscriber if everyone who's a Game Pass subscriber instead decides to buy their games, that's good for the business as well. So they're essentially saying, oh, wait, let me finish. It's not over yet. It says, for me, I look at Game Pass as a healthy option for certain people. It's not for everybody. If you play one or two games a year, Game Pass probably isn't the right business model for you. You should just buy those 2 games, and that would make total sense. But I want you to have the choice. So we remain focused on everything that's on Game Pass is now available to buy. Which Nintendo is not doing, by the way. I just wanted to throw that out there for those of you that are adamant haters of Game Pass. I just wanted to throw that out there, that you cannot buy everything on every subscription. I'm not even going to throw the name out there, because if I throw the name out there, I'm going to start talking about them for 10 minutes. But you can't do that on every subscription service that's out there right now. Is buy every game that's on there, right?
Yep. It's a fact.
And it's more than one company, too, that's guilty.
Yeah. Spendo and Schmation.
Okay. Stop it. All right, so let me continue. Let's see. Focus on everything. It's also available to buy. We're making those games available to buy in more places, and I look at the overall hours of people who are playing on Xbox, playing our games, and that's a number that continues to grow fairly substantially. And that's really the metric I think about for success. And Game Pass has been an important part of that. But I don't try to solve for Game Pass specifically on its own. It's kind of it's kind of part of the equation for Xbox finding new players. All right. So, I mean, he kind of says what a lot of us knew already, that and I seen I think it was There's another gaming. What's a Game Rant? I think posted an article saying, the headline was Game Pass isn't for everybody, says Phil Spencer. And I think that's a pretty good headline. That'll definitely turn some heads, right?
Yeah.
But we already knew that. We already knew that. There are people that are in this chat right now that'll tell you, Game Pass. I don't want Game Pass because I like to buy my game. Then do that.
Mm-hmm. Dude,
That's fine.
I literally just saw. I'm trying to find it. I literally just saw this as you were reading what you were reading. Here, I found it. Someone on Blue Sky says, subscription services annoy me so much at this point. I'm much more inclined to dish out 3 times the money upfront to anyone who lets me own what I'm buying. It's like, dude, then do that. Then just do that. You had to get online and post, actually, guys, this is really annoying. Then don't buy it. Don't pay for it. It's simple. And very much to Phil's point of yeah, if you would rather buy the game for the price it asks for, then do that. He literally in what you just read said, if you're somebody who only plays 2 or 3 games a year, then the service doesn't make sense for you. He's not trying to con you into if you're somebody like that, he's not trying to con you into the service. He's telling you it literally doesn't make sense for you. It's just an option. People, especially for Xbox, for some reason, people seem to forget quite often that it really is just an option. It's not forced on you. You don't have to have it if you have an Xbox console. It's not. They don't force it on you.
Yeah, Ray Chi says something right here, and it makes total sense, right? He says, I unsubbed from Game Pass to play my backlog. But right now, Game Pass is drowning us with good content. And that's how it should be.
It is, yes.
To me, it's that simple. There are a ton of people out there, I can guarantee you, there are a ton of people out there that got that got a subscription service to HBO just to watch The Last of Us. And as soon as that show's over, they're canceled.
Yep.
And that's how it should be for everything. That's how it is for Netflix for me. I left Netflix knowing that there was stuff that I still wanted to watch, right?
Ooh.
But I was like, hey, Netflix is $25 a month right now.
Stupid.
And
that's so stupid.
And that's for the 4K one, because that's the one that I like to use, right?
Yeah.
And I know that there are some shows that I cannot wait to see. There are shows that I need to see still on Netflix, but it's not shows that I can't wait for, right?
Mm-hmm.
The shows that I can't wait for, I will gladly subscribe back and watch those shows and the shows that I've been willing to wait to watch. But the thing is I'm not going to spend $200-$300 throughout the year for something that I don't use all the time. Because if you think about it, 2 months of
$50.
Months of Netflix is $50.
That's fucking crazy. That's unhinged. Netflix needs to be stopped, dude. I'm telling you. That's crazy.
So yeah, I subscribe when I need it, and then when I'm done, I'm out. Game Pass, I use it all the time. So I just never unsubscribe from it. Just like you with Hulu. You use it all the time.
Bro, I can't not have Hulu. I need Hulu. Every night I'm watching Hulu.
So, yeah. I mean, I think it's that simple. But people like to make it sound super complicated and almost like you don't have another option when you clearly do.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. So we're finally done with this interview, or we're done with at least everything that we're going to talk about in this interview. Let's go on ahead and move on to the last topic that we had, which actually is The Last of Us. Last
Yay.
of Us TV show. So I just want to talk a little bit about what I thought about the debut of the second season. Also wanted to get your thoughts of how the characters were kind of introduced, the new ones, that being Abby and crew. And then I
Yeah.
also wanted to just talk about a little bit of the situations going down with um Ellie and Joel, essentially.
All right.
So I'm gonna ask you first.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the episode overall? What did you
Overall.
what did you like the most, and what did you dislike the most?
So what I dislike the most, this is gonna be a cop out answer, but it's the dead truth of what I dislike the most is that I already knew what was gonna happen. But that's like such a cop out answer, but it's the truth, and it's kind of how I feel about this whole season and season 3 as well. Because again, assuming we're gonna stop season 2 in the middle of The Last of Us Part 2, I would assume season 3 is the end of Last of Us Part 2. So the episode itself, I thought was a solid episode. Like you asked me the other night when we were in the party, like what my thoughts are on it, and you commented that I didn't seem incredibly excited. I thought the episode was good. Thought it was a good episode. It's what I expected it to be. Um, it's just kind of that. It's like I don't have the same hype for Last of Us, for example, as I do for like Severance. Because Severance is like, that's not a video game. I've never seen that before. I don't know what's going to happen in Severance. Whereas Last of Us, just like this past week, I'll turn it on next week and be like, here we go. I know what's happening in this episode. And I think that's my only problem with it. But the thing I did like from the first episode, one thing I really did like was they brought in like a new character who definitely wasn't in the games. Like Joel had this therapist, and they kind of made her story fucking crazy because if you watch the episode, you find out that, I mean, it's not like a huge spoiler or anything, so I guess I can say it because it doesn't really matter. You find it out pretty quick. Is you find out that Joel killed her husband, and I'm assuming he killed her husband at the end of season 1 in that Firefly thing. So like that was cool to find out. That was cool for context. It also helped remind me of things from the game where like, in the game it was like this big thing of like, oh, when is Ellie gonna find out that Joel lied at the end of the first game? And then you find out like, oh, that was already taken care of because it's like in a flashback in the second game. So she already knew when the game started that he lied about what happened at the end of the first game. So like it did a good job of adding context, reminding me of things from the game that I honestly kind of forgot about. I'll say there was more action. There was definitely more action in that, and hopefully that's kind of a through line of what to expect from the season. I know they said expect to see more like actual zombies this season. So that's something I'm looking forward to. And looks like there was like a new enemy. There's a new zombie type introduced, which is like one that's like really smart and kind of like
Right,
stalking
that was
you.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, like that looked really cool. I'm interested to see more of that for sure. I think all in all, I give that episode. I, you know what? I'll be a little generous. I'll give it 8.5. I'll give it 8.5. I was gonna say 8. I'll give it 8.5. because they, like I said, they added the context, they reminded me of things, and they introduced a new zombie type. So I give it 8.5.
Yeah, I actually was kind of surprised how much I enjoyed the first episode because I went into it thinking this is not exciting. I went into it thinking that. But like seeing the therapist and how she just kind of like got drunk on her birthday and let him have it.
First, she did.
I'm
Yeah,
not
he
gonna
did.
I'm not gonna spoil what she said, but like she let him have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, man, like this man can't quit. He can't quit sobbing. He is
Right.
like he is in the corner of the room and he has a dunce hat on. Like that's essentially how it felt. And then, you know, the part that's in the game, the whole dance scene moment
Oh
where
yeah.
Ellie gets a little angry. I was just like, yeah, this man has no home.
Yeah, dude. He's struggling.
I mean, I felt bad for him. Just like, I mean, but the game did that too, right? The game made you feel bad for him as well. Um, and and it was just kind of awkward because I wanted to say, man, she is not doing well, right? I
As
wanted to
Ellie.
say, yeah, just because she was
Yeah.
making me so mad.
Yeah.
And then I remember, I was like, oh, yeah, that game made me mad.
Yep. 100%. I
And I
know
feel like a
exactly how you
lot of
feel.
people will, I feel like this season, a lot of people will have a problem with making that distinction.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of people will try to say, oh, she's just not for this role, which I can partially agree on. Like, I don't completely think she's not my first pick for this role. But
Mhm.
I can tell you this, she's nailing that fucking part.
Yeah. Yes, 100%.
She's not who I would have casted based on just physical attributes. That's it.
Yep.
But literally everything else, give this motherfucker an award.
Yeah, dude, she's fucking crushing it. She crushed it first season. And I was kind of with you. Well, I don't know. I don't know that I put words in your mouth there, but like I was kind of thinking like it's gonna be hard for me to take her and like very seriously as an older Ellie this season because she doesn't look like she doesn't like I think in this
You don't look
episode
19.
they're 19 in the episode. I'm like, you don't look 19, but she acted the shit out of it. So it's like I kind of quickly forgot that I kind of quickly forgot how I felt about it when they initially said when she initially said I'm 19. I was like, eh. And then as the episode went on, I completely forgot that feeling.
Yep. Yeah, because like I said, I completely stand by my thoughts of, hey, he looks nothing like Ellie, and that bothers me. It does.
Mm,
And I know I'm a little more lenient than other people, right? So I see her and I'm like, I don't like it. But when I see her act, I can then see why she's in that role. As
yeah.
to where other people, they just see her and it's impossible for which I can which I can understand, right?
Hmm.
Sometimes, especially when it's your favorite thing, right? Last of Us isn't my favorite thing.
Yeah.
But if it was my favorite thing, maybe I'd be a little bit more adamant on like I just can't watch it or something like that, right? But I don't know. I feel like I'm a fairly lenient individual. I try to see light where there's sheer darkness in times. And I feel like she's a pretty bright light in a dark ass room.
Yes.
I still not my favorite choice of for her as Ellie, but goddamn, man, like but by the end of that episode, I was just like, man, I just want to smack the shit out of her. And just be like, and I just wanted to smack the shit out of her and tell her, like, this dude gives a shit and you're being a piece of shit. And then I was like, that's kind of funny that I feel this way because that's how I felt in the fucking game.
Yep. 100%, buddy.
But I 100% think that's going to be not the downfall of the show because I don't feel like the show is going to be bad, right? I feel like it's still going to be rated good, but I don't think they'll garner as much love or near as much love this season as they did last.
I think it's going to be tough. And to the one question you asked me that I didn't answer, or a point you brought up that I didn't address, is Abby. I thought, like, from the jump, I mean, we didn't see a ton of Abby.
We didn't.
From the jump, like her first scene was like, "Yo, I'm a fucking villain."
Yeah, she's living.
She's like, I want to kill him, and then like 5 seconds later, she's like, slowly. I want him to die slowly, and I was like, oh shit, all right. So you're like, there.
She looked like she just got violated. Like that character looked like the violator was still in the room.
Yes, like she was dead serious about that shit. So like, definitely.
I mean, her boy had to be like, yo,
yeah, let's calm down. like let's calm down. Like, because in the game, like when it came to the moment, she was a fucking savage. But like before that,
oh yeah, she was happy.
She was like I was like, oh,
women with her boy.
Yeah, who's this interesting person, this interesting couple? And then, you get to the moment where it happens and you're like, oh shit, she's a fucking demon. And you got that hint of like, she's a fucking demon right from the jump of this episode. Because I'm pretty sure she was the first scene, if I'm not mistaken.
She was, yeah.
Yeah, so like you right from the jump of this episode, she is a demon, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like right after that scene, the thing that's hit Twitter the most that I want to go on ahead and kind of get out, and then we can kind of work on our way out of here. But like the big controversial thing about this first episode was the initial fight.
The initial fight, like
the first fight. I mean, I don't really want to like spoil it at all.
Sure.
Like where she got decked.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I believe so. Yeah. You're not talking about. Oh, continue. Sorry.
It's the very beginning. The initial fight. That and she does like some wrestling moves essentially.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
And people were saying that is some complete bullshit.
Well, she can't do wrestling moves like that or something.
Not really that she can't do moves as much as her versus him. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like I get that. Like, I get that. And I got to be honest, when I was watching that,
Because
I
you're a
was
bigger
like,
guy too. Imagine
yeah,
her trying to do that to you.
exactly. Like when I was watching that, I was like, okay, we're kind of suspending a little bit of reality here, which I was like, okay, fine. Like I'm not saying that that's like, oh, this game is fucking terrible now. It's just like they're trying to convey that Ellie's a badass and they got the point across, albeit and like, I kind of figured that wouldn't go super well, wouldn't go over super well online. I kind of figured there would be some people who would be like, I don't know about that. But like I was like, okay, I can suspend my belief for that. I don't have an issue with it. They're just trying to make the point that Ellie is a badass. So I just kind of accepted it for whatever it was at the moment.
Did you notice that they tried to save it though after the confrontation?
Oh, how he they said like he held a punch or whatever. He held punch or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like there was also that as well. So it's like when I saw that, yeah. Now that I'm remembering the whole scene, it kind of made a lot of sense to me when I was watching it because I was like, obviously this giant dude should be able to take down this teenager no problem. And then you find out afterwards, yeah, I told him to hold back. And then she got pissy like, don't do that shit. And it's like, well, if he didn't do that shit, you probably would have got hurt, seriously. Cuz she already fucked up her nose in that fight. So like, I it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me. All that to say, it didn't bother me as much as I kind of assumed it would bother some people.
Uh, I didn't think it was the best way to start out the episode.
Sure, yeah.
I thought like when I seen that, I was on like worry alert. I was like, oh, this isn't a good start. But it got better from it.
Yeah.
It got much better from there. And I'll tell you one thing the thing that made me most happy about seeing this episode after coming in with the light anticipation that I had for it was seeing more clickers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, finally.
Yeah, dude.
Like all the albeit it wasn't like it took up a ton of the episode. It took
Yeah.
up it I felt like they showed about as much clickers this episode that they showed like the entire season. The entire
Exactly.
last season.
Compared to last season, it was so much compared to last season.
So that has me pretty excited for the future of the episodes of The Last of Us. But for the most part, that's it. I think next week, Matt, if you have time, come back on the show. We could further talk about it. Piss Loke off because he hates it.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
down.
that would be fantastic. But we'll specifically try to do this weekly, and if not on here, if you can't make it on a Wednesday, then we'll have to do it on a Friday. I would just rather not do it on a Friday because we have so many other people that are on the panel.
That's fair. I mean,
But
I'll be able to make it almost certainly.
all right, sweet. Well, anyways, everybody that's joined us today, thank you so much. We have we have around 30 people in here between the two
Let's go.
platforms that we're watching on. So I appreciate you guys watching so much. Please hit that like button. I'm trying to continue to do more content. Sometimes I get into these mental slumps where like I just don't feel like purposeful for what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And I feel like that happens to everybody, but like sometimes it hits me like a bag of rocks, and like I'll go on a spree of completing the whole Mass Effect game and just be on a fucking roll of just doing it every day, and then burnout will set in, and it's like, do I even want to content create anymore? So I'm happy for you guys still continuing to join, support. Please hit that like button. That means a ton to me. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. But I'll be back tomorrow to do another another sit down and stream with some more Mass Effect. Let's see, the last person I got, or the last person I seen over on Mass Effect that I ended up recovering, because I'm still picking up like my people, right?
Mhm.
I got this Krogan that has this
Oh,
like
I know where
yellow
you're at.
suit and whatnot. The guy died for him essentially, right?
The genet like oh
Yeah,
I
the
don't
genetic,
yeah.
the guy that was in the capsule, right?
Yes,
The
yes,
Krogan
yes.
that was in the capsule. I
Okay.
picked that person up, and oh yeah, and I picked up God, what's that girl's name? Kasumi.
Dude, Kasumi's tight, yeah.
Kasumi is weird, but like pretty dope.
Oh, I agree.
But yeah, that's where I kind of ended off yesterday. I picked up those two. Now I'm back on the Normandy. I'm about to go pick up the next person or two, and then the main pieces of that game start. And I'll have some questions for those of you that have played Mass Effect. So please join me because it'll help me get through more parts of the story. So if you're interested and you like Mass Effect and you like helping out with directions and seeing choices be made and whatnot, come join me tomorrow. I should be live around sometime around noon, noon Central Time, about around 1 o'clock Eastern, hopefully, unless I end up having to do some stuff, and then I'll be on a little bit later than that. But yeah, come through, check that out, and then on Friday, of course, Bullshit and me, Matt, Loke, um, Mental 9R, Cozy Beluga. Sometimes a guest will show up on that on Fridays, 3 p.m. Central, 4 o'clock Eastern. Later on this evening, if you have time, please show up to Matt Likes Games channel and check us out for the two-player podcast. Where we will.
No show tonight. No show tonight, bud.
Oh,
No show
well, to hell with what I was just saying.
tonight. But normally on Wednesdays, come by. 8 p.m. Eastern on my channel, Matt Likes Games, for a
Is
two-player
there
podcast.
something you need to tell me, or can you tell me why right now?
No show tonight because I'm taking the night because I knew like whenever you asked me to be on, I knew we were gonna talk about a lot of the stuff, and I was like, perfect. I'm gonna take the night off for my channel, and then I'll work on that video. I'll have that video out tomorrow.
Mel Eden?
Yes, and then yeah, that so nothing on the channel tonight, but we covered a lot of great stuff here.
Yeah, it was a pretty good show. We had a lot to talk about, and I mean, I could have kept going on that article and whatnot, but like I said, I wasn't trying to be here for no 3 hours. But thank you so much, everybody that joined. It was a good time today. Hopefully, I see you guys tomorrow for the Mass Effect trilogy stream, and or on Friday for bullsitting. But this is your boy Ham Solo signing out from TSWS Gaming. Matt, please let them know where they can find you real quick, just in case they didn't quite understand just a moment.
Yeah, Matt Likes Games on YouTube. Videos every week. I'll be working on one today. Podcasts every week. Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern is the L3R3 podcast with myself, Hard Days Mike, and it's me, Twan. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. normally Eastern is the two-player podcast with myself and Ham Solo. Not tonight, but next week we'll be back for that. And like I said, I'm working on a video. I'll have that up probably tomorrow evening. So look out for that. And yeah, that's where you can find me. Also, Blue Sky, Matt Likes Games. So check me out there as well if you're on there. But that's about it.
Yeah, and slide in my DMs if you have anything to tell me on Twitter while you still can, because apparently they're talking about getting rid of DMs, and I'm not sure what
Right.
I'll need with Twitter if they get rid of DMs, because that's partially how I get people to get on the show and stuff like that. So, anyways, I don't know. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. This is your boy Ham Solo signing out from TSWS Game, letting you know as usual, to keep it gaming or keep it moving. Peace.
See it.